Hey everybody, we are back.
Yay!
Woohoo!
We kind of took a hiatus after our big live event on May 15th, which was
You want to talk about that for a little bit?
so fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was great.
Yes, it was.
You know, at times we put that event together and I'm like, are we freaking crazy?
Yeah, we had moments where we were wondering
Are we
who
funny?
signed us up for that. Yeah.
I signed you
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
My yes friend.
That's right.
But and even Jen, who works for the Alzheimer's Association and is in charge of the Southwest Washington Walk. Remember when we were done?
She wasn't sure.
We were leaving the theater, and I said, Jen, what did you think when I came to you with this idea? And she goes, I wasn't sure. And I was like, stop right there. I'm going to record you.
Right, because everyone thinks they're funny on their couch with a glass of wine and their friends.
Correct.
Like everybody does.
Correct.
And we think we're pretty funny, but then like, is that actually going to transfer in front of a full audience in a theater?
Who do we think we are?
With zero scripting. Yeah, I don't know. We thought we were pretty special, and you know what? We are.
We're enough. We're enough.
Oh my God, that was amazing.
I know.
But before we get there, that was a great segue.
Yes.
But before we get there, tell the audience about the end result of our efforts towards the event.
Yeah, amazing. We did a video, so some of you might have seen that on social media yesterday, but we raised over $10,000. Yeah, it was awesome. I'd love to double that next time.
And that doesn't include like paying off the venue with the sponsorships that we had, and I mean because they were pretty amazing. Our sponsors.
Exactly.
Do you want to name them again really quickly?
Yeah,
Johnson
Waste
Bixby.
Connections, Johnson Bigsby, the UPS store with Ronika, Jamie Young with Uptown Screen Printing.
Amy
She
Reeves
did our
and
shirt.
Friends.
Yeah, Amy Reeves and Friends, the Oven Ready Ladies.
Yeah, and we know what that means now.
Yeah,
Oven
yeah.
Ready Ladies. We're on to you now.
Yep, totally. And the audience participation at the event, like it was so good. But one thing I know to be true, Mindy, is that when you bring together awesome people, it's just fun.
It is. It is.
But they participated.
Yep.
A gal I know, I don't know who she was. She was sitting at the right, kind of in front of you, a couple rows back.
Yes.
She talked about her most embarrassing moment.
She totally did.
And I didn't know her. Nope. And she stood up and shared. It was so good.
And we did have men who joined us. It was kind of a celebrate women and all that is womanhood.
Yeah.
And there were more men who came, which I really appreciated. Because, you know, you always love
hopefully
to know.
They did.
Yeah, hopefully they liked it too. But yeah, you always like to know that there are allies of whatever minority group is celebrating their struggles and their wins. And so to see the men there was really fun. My grown son was one of them.
Yeah.
And even he said that it felt like everyone knew each other somehow, some way.
And they really
did.
It
was really cool, yeah.
And they really did.
Yeah.
There was a connection with everyone there.
So thank you to not only the people who attended and helped us raise the $10,000 for the Alzheimer's Association, for our amazing sponsors.
Yes.
That was
Couldn't
insane.
have done it.
For Kiggins, we worked with Brad and Versa for the AV, and just everything was great. So thank you guys so much.
Annie at Kiggins Theater.
Oh, Annie was fantastic.
She was fantastico.
And you were not bad to work with either. I know. I'm going to say we worked really, really well as a team.
Yeah, your strengths complemented my weaknesses, vice versa.
You didn't get on my nerves and I didn't get on your nerves, and that is a testament.
Well, really for you. Do you know that London my daughter has a little fragrance thing in your car? What do you call that? Like a tree, whatever? Yeah. But it says, don't let idiots ruin your day. And I told her, I said, Mindy needs that.
I do. I need that reminder. I totally do.
So that is huge that I didn't drive you crazy.
No,
and we both knew we were getting stuff done.
We played off each other, like you said. We played off each other's strengths. We let the other one do what we knew they were good at doing.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of trust in the process, honestly, and it turned out freaking great.
It did. It did. And the longest day for the Alzheimer's Association is coming up.
21st.
Yeah. And so I will talk to Mindy.
Windy Mindy. That's what my 4th grade teacher used to call me, Windy Mindy.
Mindy. Oh my God. See, I'm getting excited and then things just, but I have an idea that Mindy and I might do in the community for Longest Day.
Okay.
So,
we have to say,
stay tuned.
I have not heard of anything
tuned.
yet, so this is going to be interesting.
But if she says yes, like she normally does,
I'm going to get myself into trouble one of these days.
There's no prep for this one. That's the good news.
Am I enough?
Yes, you are enough.
Am I enough
but
to
we
continue to say yes?
Oh, I love it when you say yes. It's so fun because sometimes I just have crazy fun ideas, and to have a partner in crime is fabulous.
I am enough.
Yes, we all are.
We should talk about that today.
Let's talk about that. So, when was the last time that thought crossed your mind in one way or another? Like,
am I enough?
Yeah,
or
like not the exact words,
right? But am I good
feeling.
enough to do this? Like, do I have the skills to do this?
Yeah.
Today. 100% today. Going into a meeting that was really important to me and the client. And it's kind of like before you get on stage, you have all these like thoughts that flood your brain of like, I can't do this. I'm so nervous. I didn't do this right. And then you get there and you're like, why was I thinking all those self-doubt thoughts? Because it's fine. It's better than fine. I'm killing it.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. We're a partnership. We work great together.
Exactly.
Why am I, like, doubting myself?
I know. And it is the ego in our mind, the saber-toothed tiger that is trying to protect us. And so I'm trying to see it more, though I lost sight of that this week, see it more as an ally. Like, hey, I call her Sally. You know,
you have Sally, I have Cheryl.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Sally and Cheryl should get together over drinks.
Yeah. So you don't know who you're getting at what time, but
no,
like,
you don't.
Sally, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, just get in the passenger seat. It's okay. But this morning I was on a connection call, a virtual call, and it's for people that make 7 figures or more. And this might be
the one I couldn't get into. Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, stay tuned. You could have gotten into it. But it's a little bit different when you're a one-man show. You know, when you have a big operation, it's easier to get there. But so I'm in the 7-figure group by the hair of my chinny chin chin, and believe me, there's some hairs there. And there's amazing women, and they have no egos. They're fabulous. But one gal was like, yeah, so this is my company, and I help companies go from 7 million to like the 10 million. And I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, like,
and you immediately go there.
And I could just feel it in my body.
Yep.
And my confidence, and then I wasn't speaking up as much.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. So I think this happens to women.
No matter what.
So much of the time. Like, the stats are like 60%.
Oh, yeah. No,
of women.
No matter what. I don't care who you are.
Of the time.
I guarantee, like, I mean, that's how some overachievers get to where they are, because it is never enough, right? And they use that as a tool.
Right. It can be a benefit to keep you on your toes,
but
keep you
you
motivated.
have to be really careful about keeping it in check, so that it doesn't become all-consuming and you're focusing on the negatives.
Yeah.
But you're allowing it to serve you.
Yeah.
As you can push yourself a little more.
Yeah.
Or, you might want to try this in a different way. It's a good thing when you have ambition.
Right.
As long as you keep it in check.
Yep. And every attribute that is a positive thing also has its negative side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like, I always love to say, it's kind of like if you're a parent and you're like, I'm worried I'm not a good parent, you're probably a good parent.
Probably.
Because you're actually asking that question. So the women listening today, whether you're at home or work part-time or full-time or whatever the hell you do, you're retired. If you're worried about your purpose and giving to the community or helping your clients or whatever, you probably are a high achieving person. Let's just say that. Let's just throw that out there. And then if you have that level, then you got to watch yourself on these thoughts, because these thoughts are not helping us.
Absolutely. And they can become invasive. And as I was thinking about the podcast today, I always like to put things in buckets. My whole brain is like in buckets. Everything has its place. and if it doesn't, I have to give it a place. Like it's a weird thing for me. And so when
give me an example really quick.
Well, for this, I'll just give you. I'll tell you about this. So when I'm thinking about am I enough and the topic, it's like, in what areas of life do we think those invasive negative thoughts? Physically is one bucket, right? Emotionally is another bucket, and then intellectually is another bucket. So
what about relationships?
Well, that could be in your emotional bucket.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And so, And so
thanks, Mindy.
You're welcome. No problem.
That was good.
So like the physical bucket is huge for women in particular. And as I was digging, this is alarming to me. You guys ready for this?
Yeah. No.
The totally like rude statistics on this. 44% of women report negative feelings about their bodies. And only 4% of women consider themselves beautiful.
And the 4% that consider themselves beautiful, do we all, the rest of us, hate them because they actually are good with them? Is that not
crazy?
I think it's crazy.
You're telling
and I
me
think
that
it's
96% of women do not think they're beautiful? Come on. Like
all the time. Like let's say,
like for the most part.
Yeah, like let's say 80% of the time they think they're beautiful.
Right. And so that is just a direct reflection of the world we live in, with social media bombarding us.
Society.
Marketing.
Yeah. Everything. It's a comparison.
So crazy.
And once we start comparing, we start spiraling.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true for you.
Totally.
I can
what do they say? Comparison is the thief of joy.
I thought you were going to ask me that to fill in the blank, and I was really
nervous. I should have put you on the spot.
She looks at me, and she's like...
Oh, no, it's coming. Don't worry. I got another one coming for you.
Shit. All right.
And it's everything from body. That's huge, right?
Huge.
I'm too big. I'm too small. I have too flat of a chest. I have too big of
no
boobs.
Butt.
I have no butt. I have too big of a butt.
Too big.
Yeah. It's like it's never ending. My skin's too pale. I can't get tan.
I have too many freckles.
Or I'm too dark. Or I have old age spots. I have
my
wrinkles.
hands look like I'm 80.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Okay, I'm going to stop.
And it's exhausting.
I'm really trying to work on this right now.
I know.
And I become self-aware, a little bit more self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how many times these thoughts are coming up for me.
All the time.
And then I'm mad at that. Because I'm like, crap, will you stop it? You're driving me crazy.
It is an emotional load that we carry with us all the time.
Yeah.
And it is exhausting. And then you couple in having kids. And
being in a relationship.
Right? And
that's the emotional.
That is the emotional. So that's that whole thing of when we were talking about expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that. Remember we had a podcast. I think it was episode
3.
That was wins.
Oh, that was
the other managing expectations was 2.
Yes,
episode 2, and it was a my feelings aren't valid enough because I'm not getting that external appreciation or acknowledgement.
I'm working on
that I so need to feel good enough about myself.
Yeah, that fills that bucket.
Right?
Yeah, and then once we can not have that as a need, because you said that. Yeah, you said that. That was really profound. Didn't you say that now that used to be one of your love language?
Yep.
We were talking about love languages.
Yep.
And you said words of affirmation used to be yours.
Used to be.
But it's not anymore.
Nope.
And she said, drop the freaking mic. It's because I don't need that affirmation, those words of affirmation to feel good. And I was like, oh shit. I got a lot of work to do.
Well, and it's not all the time, right? I still need external validation.
We all do.
We all do.
But it's not to a codependent, needy.
No. Yeah. But
that's
that
amazing.
has been a result of living by myself, coming home to myself, going to sleep by myself, waking up to myself, living life by myself.
Yes.
And really training my brain to be solid. Not always great, but solid. Like I've got a really good foundation now of when I hear those thoughts, those intrusive thoughts of, he or she didn't validate me the way I needed them to.
Yeah.
I'm like, but why did I need them to?
Right.
You know, you did a great job. Move on with life.
Let them.
That's right.
I forgot
So-
my let them this week.
You did.
Last week. Yeah. I had a little, and I was just a little annoyed, a little triggered, where it's just like a let them, Natalie. It's not a big deal. Nothing they did wrong. Absolutely nothing. And Doug, my man.
Sure.
Okay, we'll go with that. I was saying, yeah, sometimes I just need to take my hands off the steering wheel or sit in the passenger seat. You know, I've talked about that a lot. And he said, yeah, sometimes you just need to get out of the car. And I was like
specifically, sometimes you need to get out of the
or
car.
others. Hi, Jack.
Oh, there's our guest. He'll be with us in a sec.
Make yourself comfortable,
Yeah,
bud.
no kidding.
So yeah, I think we're all kind of suffering from I'm not enough, or we're not enough.
100%.
And then I think that there is some jealousy for the people, the 4% that are like, girl,
Yeah.
I got it going on.
Yeah, and those are just really annoying people to be around.
Because we want what
I'm
they
not,
have.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I mean, are they really that self-aware if they think they're all that?
I feel Nikki
don't know.
Glasser coming into this conversation, don't you?
Yeah,
Comedian Nikki Glasser.
Yeah.
And
Oh
what
my
she
gosh.
says about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I think the emotional part of it that you and I have talked so much about, of my feelings aren't valid and I'm not enough. As we get older, we'd think that we would lose sight of that, right? We'd think we would become better. And yet, when we try to start a new relationship, after post-divorce, we're like, maybe I'm too broken. Maybe I'm carrying too much baggage with me. Maybe I'm too
you go
hung
through
up
that.
on these things. Maybe I
Will I
don't
always
see
be
my red
alone?
flags. Yeah, right. Woe is me.
But here's the thing, Mindy. I'm going to take it a step further.
Okay.
So now I'm entering into a relationship.
Yep.
And I'm very like, ooh, breathe deep. And I'm going through that in the relationship too, of like, okay, I need to tell him a few things about my story in my life. I need to tell him about the hair on my chinny chin chin. And am I enough in that?
Will he still love me
Yeah.
in spite of my flaws?
Yeah. And really, I know the answer.
He will.
He will. Hands down.
Because he's a great guy.
Because he's a great guy, but it's more, it's me saying it. It's the shame or the...
So you have done work around this.
Yeah.
What have you done for people listening? Like, what have you done so far that has really helped you rewire the way your brain processes that self-doubt and I'm not good enough?
Yeah. I try and either journal or mentally journal. Sometimes I love when the alarm goes off and I press the snooze, and that's just like my 9 minutes. It's not 10. It's always 9 minutes on snooze. I don't get that.
I don't know why that is either.
Yeah. Someone can tell us that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that
has to be
9
a
minutes
reason.
where I keep my eyes closed and I think about what I'm grateful for, but also what's going well. So
So
thinking...
you wake up in the morning, every morning doing that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So thinking about what is going well, and that literally reprograms your brain. It makes Sally calm down a little bit. You know, that ego, my Sally the ego. And it's proof. You're proving to yourself, gosh, Minnie and I just put on this great event, raised $10,000. My business is solid. Things are going well. I have an amazing team. My girls are doing great.
Yep.
I have a great relationship with my husband. I've got this man in my life that I'm not sure what to do with because he's everything that I've ever wanted. And then you're just like, oh my God.
Your nail color is fantastic.
Yeah, my nail.
And there's so many things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally. There's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
things. You
Yeah.
can always find things.
Yep.
But and proving to yourself that, and I'm just I'm literally lately just trying to go, okay, there's a little very low level of anxiety sometimes when I'm working because I'm, you know, a high achiever, whatever. And it's like when I tell myself like, Natalie, you are right where you need to be.
Yep.
As long as I know I'm checking those boxes, right?
Yep.
be done at 3, be done at 3:30, go take a nap when you need to, enjoy life, blah, 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 blah. That helps me just kind of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah. How about you?
I think it is a lot along those lines. Remember when we took the positive intelligence coaching with our friend Laura last fall? And one of the things was when you wake up in the morning, you just made me think of it, you put both feet firmly on the ground.
Right.
You sit up in bed, you plant your feet firmly on the ground, and then you stand up. Really being present with that moment of, I am alive.
Yeah.
And I'm in charge of my day and how I feel about it.
Exactly.
And that has really, in the smallest way, kind of shifted the way I wake up in the morning.
Nice. So you still do that.
Yeah.
That's great. Good for you.
I do that every day.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then tuning into the senses.
Right.
Right. If you're driving, I've been really practicing not putting even music on and just driving. I know. I think of you. I'm like, Mindy, be so proud. Should I text her and tell her how proud she should be of me? But
That's
yeah,
so
just
cute.
like, I feel the steering wheel. Mm-hmm. I hear the birds or the wind or the cars. I see the mountain ahead.
Isn't that weird that those behaviors can directly transfer into you feeling better about yourself?
Yeah.
Isn't that, like, it seems kind of weird that would be, but it does.
But at the same time, when you are present,
yes,
and getting into your 5 senses gets you present. When you're present, you cannot be thinking in the future or the past.
That's so true.
And most of us either go to the past or the future. And I go to the future. And Doug said to me, this was another conversation we had, and he said to me, what do you need right now from me?
And you're like, no one's ever asked me that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm having a hot flash.
Yeah.
So cheers to menopause. Don't leave me hanging. Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
Woohoo!
Poor thing.
Okay, should we go on to some practical things?
Yeah, I also want to
else?
say, just mention really briefly about like the am I enough from a career, intellectual standpoint of there's some of us who did really, really well in school and we always kind of believed in ourselves academically and we would succeed in the workforce and we've just always gotten that recognition for our brains. And then there's others of us who really had to work in school and we did okay. And then we didn't always do okay. And then we did really well. And we didn't always get the credit for being an intellectual. And so sometimes, even though we are smart, adult, professional women, we hear those little voices that tell us, you're not that smart.
Oh, yeah.
Don't try to pretend you are.
Yeah.
You're not kidding anyone.
I think a lot of women go through that.
Yeah, and it's really a shame, right?
And by the way, if you're this second example where you've had to actually work hard for whatever grades you got, I would much rather be that person. Because you know resilience, you know hard work, you know what it takes to get there and to feel that. Where if everything just comes easy, then you don't know what it's like to fail.
We know this is true. We know this is true. Absolutely.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah. And you know as well as I do, women in the workplace, like how often we're overlooked and how often we're talked down to and how many condescending remarks we have to go through to get where we want to be.
Yeah.
And all of those experiences fill our brain with that self-doubt.
Yeah.
But maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not ready for this position.
Yeah.
And so I tend to be of the school of thought of, I'm just going to do it and I'll figure it out. Right? Sign me up. I'll just figure it out.
Yeah, we'll just sign up and do this comedy show. And
mind you, I'm full of doubt the whole time, but I'm still like just jumping in and doing it.
But that is an entrepreneur. Yeah, that is a high achiever.
Totally, yes.
It's the fire that you have inside that goes, I know I need to start speaking. I know I need to write a book. I know I need to start my own business.
Wait, who's doing that?
All of you. You. That's all of you.
That's all my personalities.
No, all those things. And we go, we're scared to death. But there's something in you that says, I got to do this.
Yeah.
But that is also what keeps me alive.
Totally.
It's the passion. It's the focus.
That's the excitement, right?
The excitement. and stickers. When we make stickers, we have some good stickers.
We do love our stickers.
Yeah,
They turned
they're
out great.
Good job,
I mean,
Mindy.
the water bottles were pretty damn cute too.
Yeah.
But the stickers win.
Yeah, the stickers are great.
All right, let's talk about some strategies.
Okay. You're putting me on the spot. No. Okay, so I want to talk about number 2. So you get to talk about number 1.
Okay, number 1 of just challenge that voice, that inner troll that tells you you're not enough, you're not doing enough. You know, you messed this up last time. What makes you think you can do it this time?
Yeah.
What makes you think you're smarter?
Yeah.
And I would just say, like, it's time to just, not to your point, don't even put them in the back seat. Throw them out.
Just get
Kick
out
them
of
to
the
curb.
frickin' car.
Kick them to the curb and keep driving.
Have a mantra.
Well, this is it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of what would you say to a friend?
I would say not today, Satan.
There
You
you
know,
go.
from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. So-
or not today, Sally. Not today, Cheryl.
That's it.
Karen.
And that's it. That's the mantra
Yeah.
that we have to do of,
Yeah.
would we let our friend talk like this? I get on you.
She does.
Right?
And I was like,
When
oh my
she-
God,
when
I
she
didn't even
negative
know I did it.
self-talks, I was like, no, stop it. So we need to do the same thing to ourselves.
Yeah.
We are our best friend.
And I notice when I put my foot down with
Yep.
myself and go, we're not going there.
Yep.
I feel so much better.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's a great
Not
strategy.
today,
then.
Sally.
So we challenge you who's listening, if you have this inner voice, which we know you do, just say, what would you say to that friend? And maybe it's not today. You're not doing this to yourself.
No.
Nope.
Maybe another day.
Okay.
See you around.
Yeah. So next
celebrating the tiny wins.
One. Hey, we did a podcast on this.
Yeah, exactly. So that was episode 3, if you want to go back. Episode 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we love to celebrate the big things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super important. But the tiny things are just as important.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something to celebrate every single day. London, my daughter, her tire went flat. She had to call AAA at the house. They took her over to the tire store, whatever. She's like, there was just a nail in my tire, and they do free repairs.
Yep.
And I'm like,
love discount
that's a
tire.
win. That is a win today.
That's right. That's right.
So any little win.
I love that.
Yeah. What's your little win?
Oh man, my little win is that I haven't gone off on my management company where I live yet.
Oh, how's the
Yeah,
dog
they're driving
barking?
me. They're driving me crazy, but that's okay because I have not gone off, and I have had conversations at a very
Thanks,
reasonable,
Lexapro.
right, at a very reasonable, low volume, adult manner, and I'm quite pleased.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So proud of you.
Thank you. I am too.
Okay.
So then also setting goals that matter to us is really important, to overshoot this voice of you're not good enough, to say, wait, no, not only am I not good enough, but I have these goals that I've set for myself that are achievable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to freaking go get them.
Yeah.
I am going to achieve those goals.
Right.
And they matter.
Yeah,
And
totally.
right. And when you fill your life with purpose, that's where that passion and excitement comes in.
And little goals.
Yeah.
Start with little goals.
Yeah. 10-minute walk.
Yeah. My mom always says, just go for 10 minutes. And after the 10 minutes, you'll feel like going. Yeah. It's putting on your shoes is the hardest. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have goals right now that you
yeah.
set for yourself, that you know you always feel better when you do them and feel better about yourself in general?
Yeah, I'm re-looking at my my like downtime, and like I think I'm like today I need to wash my hair tonight. And so I'm like, I'm going to wash my hair, and then I'm going to do kind of a beauty routine in the evening.
Nice.
So it's done, and I'm feeling like I'm taking care of myself a little bit.
Yep.
All the things I need to do. So I'm kind of playing around
The
with
listeners
that a little
don't
bit.
know it's been 5 weeks since you've washed your hair.
3 days.
Oh, that's good. That's about same.
Yeah.
Yeah, cadence. I think that's good. That's nice. Like self-care time.
Yeah, and there's just things that I want to do. Like, I want to put my whitening strips on. And it's like, when do you do that?
Right.
Like, every Saturday? That's, whatever.
Right.
And, there's some skincare things, or, extra shaving, or, stuff.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that.
I think we get it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's move on.
So this is the next one is really true or close to our hearts. And that's an assemble your village, assemble your hype squad, assemble the people who bring out the absolute best in you, who lift you up, and who you feel the same about, who you want to see succeed. And sometimes it takes a long time to get there, right? I've been hit or miss throughout my life. There's been times in my life where I've had that. And then there's been a decade where I didn't have that. And it's all about who you choose to surround yourself with. And I unfortunately chose to surround myself with not always those people, right? And it made a world of difference in every aspect of my life. From how I worked, where I worked, what I did for extracurricular, my attitude, how I raised my kids.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this one gets easier as you age. But I would encourage everybody, no matter what age you are, is surround yourself. And if things go down in a relationship, there's probably a reason for that. And there's a silver lining that was kind of like cleaning house. Because I've had that happen.
We both have recently.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And I feel so okay with it.
I feel
because it's like
so much lighter.
Only vulnerable women who are all about keeping it real. When I ask how you are, it's not roses and perfect nails or whatever. It's, you know, and that support each other, lift each other up, truly care about each other. And if that's not who you are, that's fine, but you're probably not going to be in my close bubble.
Yeah, and I think those women who maybe are listening right now and they're like, I just don't have that. How do I get that? For me, I had to uncomfortably put myself out there. And it is weird at first because it's almost like blind dating, where you're having to put yourself very vulnerably out there in front of new faces, in front of new people who you don't know. They don't know you, but that's kind of also the excitement of it.
I'm so glad you're bringing that up because I don't think that there's ever I've never thought that because that's just so natural for me. But I need to remember that it's not very natural for people.
Oh, God, no.
You know?
No.
Finding people that have the same likes, the same values as you do.
It's not easy.
Yeah, okay.
It's not easy at all.
Maybe we need to do a show on that.
It would be worth it, I think. There's a lot of groups out there like over 40 hiking groups or women who
meetups.
Coove and meetups. But it can be tough to take that first step. Again, it's like putting on your shoes. Like, how do you just get out the door and go meet someone brand new?
Yeah.
And take that time to build that relationship. But you and I are a testament because we've only known each other a little over a year.
Yeah, we had our 1 year anniversary.
It was so sweet.
Yeah.
Did you like the roses that I sent?
I didn't get the roses.
Bullshit.
I was waiting for
Bullshit.
Klondike bars.
You didn't get those either?
I almost stole one.
Well, they're
while I was here.
Protect your peace like it's gold.
Yeah.
That goes with
Can
that,
you say boundaries? Yeah. Again, everyone's talking about boundaries.
Yep.
And it's good we're talking about it. Healthy boundaries or what I like to call friendly fences.
Oh.
It's kind
when
of a
did you
softer,
come up with this?
I didn't. I stole it from somebody and,
I've never heard that. I
like
it.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit softer.
Are they white picket fences or are they barbed wire?
Ooh, they're a little pointy,
pointy?
You can't really tell how pointy they are until you sit on them.
Oh.
So,
okay. I like it.
But, having healthy boundaries. And my daughter, London, has a great saying that goes, let me see if I can think of it. She goes, it's, it's better to let others down before you let yourself down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So when she's trying to make a hard decision, we have that guilt or that strain or whatever. It's like, don't say yes and let yourself down.
That's right.
Sometimes you have to let others down. Exactly.
Yes.
But it's a smoother line, but I'll get it.
Yes. I totally see where you're going with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And make sure like your self-care routine you're going to do tonight. Like that's peace. That's giving yourself a chance to just be, listen to some music, listen to a podcast, read a book. Yeah. Like it's just you time.
Totally.
And like that to me is gold.
It is. It's so important.
Yeah, just
and that's
turn
the beauty
off
of being
the noise
single.
of the world. It is, but even if you are a mom, especially if you're a mom and you're running a family and you've got a husband and you've got all kinds of chaos around you, carve out that time.
10 minutes a day at least.
However you do it.
At least.
Right? So
whether
that
it's in the toilet room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who spends way too much time in the bathroom just for that reason.
Hey,
to get away from the noise of the house.
That's a strategy.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be with you when I can. Don't disturb me.
Lock. You don't want to come in here.
Right.
Enter at your own risk.
But it's kind of true. You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. It's a strategy.
Okay, are we going to sing? I feel like a song is going to be belted out here in a second.
Ooh, I'm kind of nervous.
Y'all know Darius Rucker.
Love Darius.
You know, I'm a
met
OG
his aunt.
Hootie fan.
I met his aunt.
I know. I remember you telling me that.
She was the bus driver on a comedy tour in Nashville. And they said she was Hootie's aunt. And I said,
hey.
Do you call him Hootie or Darius? She goes, Hootie.
Hootie. Hey, Hootie.
But he has a song called When Was the Last Time You Did Something for the First Time? And I love that line because I'm all about experiences and I get a lot of enjoyment out of doing something new, which a lot of people don't.
True.
And this is talking about doing something brave to put yourself out there that's new and different to kind of gain that confidence. So
I just thought of...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
What is it?
So if those of you listening go to our website and we've got a whole photo video gallery from the Laugh to End Alzheimer's. And I wore those like neon greenish yellowish pants.
They were blue.
No, they're like green. Our shirts were blue.
Oh, you're right.
I mean, it was as bright could be, and it was so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just loved them so much.
Yeah.
And the voice did. When I was holding them up after I tried them on, put them back on the hanger, and I'm walking to check out, I'm like, come on, you're not going to wear these. People are going to freaking make fun of you. Like, you are not that. You're not that person who wears those colors.
Did you buy your glasses at the same time?
No, I had those already. So that was the thing. And I'll tell you what, when I finally kicked that voice out of my head and said, who cares, Mindy? Who cares? I had so much fun in those damn pants.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, it made me feel like alive in those energetic colors that I don't normally wear.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, literally.
So much so you were on the ground. You fell on the ground.
I ended up on the ground picking up tickets.
Yeah.
Like a very, yes.
Yeah. So before the podcast, we were talking a little bit about, like, we both like to take new routes, go down new roads, and I just
love it.
Love it. And I was going from Newburgh to Portland, and it took me the back roads I'd never been on. There's the Berry Barn that I want to go back to, rolling hills, beautiful homes. Oh my gosh.
Especially in this area?
Top down.
Holy
it was
cow.
Fabulous.
Wait, your car top down, not that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, just making sure.
Anyway,
I know. I don't know.
I know that was coming. I know that was coming.
But yeah, I mean, in this area, in the Northwest, like,
yeah,
holy cow, there's so much to explore just right here.
Yeah.
You don't have to go 3 hours away.
No, but I want to go to the Olympic National Forest. I've done that.
I'm going in a few weeks.
With Shauna?
Uh-huh.
I knew it. Oh, yeah, because you
planned
that. Very cool. Okay. So a couple things you can do. 2-minute tasks. So if you've got a task you need to do, and I've got a great little, what do you call it? Little...
Don't know where you're going with this. Can't help you out.
A helpful hint. We'll just call it a helpful hint. What do you call it? A life hack. A life hack.
Oh, 2-minute life hack.
Okay, so if you are just dreading starting something, then start it for 2 minutes. So moms and parents, if you have kids at home and you need to clean up the house, what I used to do is I used to say, okay, I need you guys for 10 minutes. and every one of us are going to go around the house.
So do you set the timer? I used to set the timer.
I set the timer.
Okay, yeah.
And we put music on, and for 10 minutes.
I remember, and it all depends on the age, right? Because when they're little, they couldn't focus that long. And I remember I used to do like a quick 3 minute of like, let's see how many things you can clean up in 3 minutes. And then the timer would be set. So they'd be like watching the timer. Yeah. But then as they get older, that's not very fun.
Yeah, totally.
And they're like, really, Mom?
But that's okay. You don't have to have very much fun. Like, I need you for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that helps.
And you can do anything for 10 minutes.
Here's another life hack. So if you need to organize a drawer or whatever, and you only have 30 minutes to do this, let's say a whole room, maybe more drawers than one, start your timer and put it for 15 minutes. So you are cleaning out for that 15 minutes. And when the timer goes off, the next 15 minutes is this goes here, this goes in the garbage, this goes to Goodwill, this
maybe
gets
we need a podcast for organization.
Sorry.
Organization life hacks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a really good...
We go on so many tangents.
Well, it's really just you.
This is true. Okay. Bring us home, Mindy. Bring us home.
Well, here we go. I would just say, we all have that voice. You're not broken because you have that voice nagging at you all the time of, you're not good enough. You're not behind anyone else. You're not alone. God knows you're not alone. We all have that voice, and yet we got to just turn the volume down a little bit or kick it to the curb and let it walk home on its own while we keep driving.
So in the little chat or show notes, or not show notes, but comments, let us know what your mantra is, or if you have one, or what it's going to be.
Totally.
Not today, Sally.
Not today, Cheryl.
Not today, Sally.
Cheryl wears a cardigan. She likes cardigans, so I'm not wearing one.
All right, I won't say
now,
it. Now,
before we leave you today, Natalie has a really exciting announcement of an upcoming guest that we're going to have on our podcast. Not only is it going to be our first guest, which we will continue to do in the future, but the fact that she's our first guest is exciting.
Is amazing. So Kate Byers, Byars, she is the founder of the Good Life Institute. I've done her program. Amazing. It's life-changing. She was the keynote speaker at the Greater Vancouver Chamber of Commerce Inspire Her conference. She was amazing there. And she really has a passion for women who feel burnt out and they can't go farther in their career because they're like, I can't handle things the way they are right now. And she really just brings it down to the basics of we all have 7 human needs and filling those buckets to create flow, and that you don't have to be running around with your head cut off, basically. So she's got a lot of insight. She's funny. She's sassy.
She has some great anecdotal stories that really resonate with any audience. She's a fantastic speaker.
She is, really. So I'm very honored that she's going to come be our first guest here. So that is coming up in 2 weeks.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know of her yet, maybe I was pulling her up on LinkedIn as you were saying that.
Yeah.
It's Kate, yeah?
Yeah, but it might be Caitlin.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. I know her by Kate.
Kate. Yeah. Caitlin, maybe.
When was the last time you did something for the first note to go. Time?
Okay, so there you go. Again, thank you for Laugh to End Alzheimer's. We appreciate everybody's contributions, participation, engagement, all of that. We couldn't have done it without you, and we're so grateful.
Yes.
Thank you for joining today.
Yes.
This was fun.
Yes, it was. Sorry for my tangents.
No.
I have a lot of thoughts.
I know you do, and I love them. Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Enjoy the weather if you're in the Pacific Northwest.
That's right.
And go do something for yourself for 10 minutes every day.
Yep.
And figure out what your mantra is. We want to hear it.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.